right. Hello, everyone. It is I, Lady Amy, with Houses of Windsor, and we have Lady Nancy with Cup and Crown. Hello, Nancy.
Hello. Hi, how are you? Greetings from Virginia.
Good. Greetings from my house that's
You need
supposed to
you
be
need to do a little housekeeping.
I know it's supposed to be a little like haunted feeling without being totally spooky.
No, I like it. It's very nice.
And
That was once a very grand staircase. And what you got?
I have
Okay, so
bat
I have to do
earrings.
these. Hold on. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I was like, let me hold my hair behind it so you can see.
Oh, cute. Very cute.
Thanks.
Yes, yes.
My friend,
Yeah,
yeah, a friend gave them to me a few years ago.
very nice.
A Hanson friend.
Oh, okay. Very
The
gotcha.
cute
And
little
I've
pumpkins.
got my pumpkins.
Oh,
And
those are cute.
almost gonna scarf with spider webs.
Oh my gosh,
I
that's
thought
awesome.
about doing that, but maybe a little overkill. So
No, that's
anyway, put that right there.
and I of course love all of your fall decor on your patio.
Thank you. Thank you. I pulled some of it from inside. Would like to broadcast from. It's just so nice out here. And as I said to you just before we started, I am full of fall color back here. All these leaves are gold
Right.
and orange, red, and fading green. And unfortunately, it's an absolute washout. But while we're talking about lighting, I forgot to put my lights on. So excuse me, extreme close up.
Yeah,
Here we go.
that's
Here we
all
go.
right. Uh,
That's not working.
um,
There we go. All
yeah.
right. How's that? A little bit better. Anyway.
Yes, that's good.
Okay. So, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Doing well. Thank you. It's a
Today
beautiful day
was
here.
Yeah, today was a BNI morning, and it
Oh,
was
okay.
a special one. It was Visitor Day, and as of October 1st, I am now the secretary treasurer of our chapter.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. More on your
My
plate.
first time.
Yeah.
So I'm actually in charge of like checking in visitors and doing all of that stuff. So that is like the big thing today.
That just started. Did they just elect you today, or it's been in place for a few weeks?
It's been in place for a few weeks, but like today was our like big like where we like really invite visitors. So like they're
Okay.
welcome every week, but today was like the special one. So
Nice.
we had 14 visitor or no, 12 to 14, I forget. 12
Well,
visitors.
so if you had 12 to 14 visitors, they all had to have been sponsored. That means that you had double that. I mean, you had 12 to 14 people there plus the visitors, yes?
Well, I mean, a member invited them, so it's like our 40 members plus like 12 or 14
I see.
extra
Okay.
people. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's even more than that. I mean, that's a lot of
Oh, yes.
careers, to fit on
Oh
a
yeah,
computer
yeah.
for
Well,
Zoom.
we meet in person now.
Oh,
So
that's right. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. So
Forgot
we're
about
in the
that.
room, but it was a full room. It was definitely, yeah, a full room.
Okay. Okay.
So it went very well.
Good.
Um, yeah. So and then the visitor that I invited, his name is Ernest Wiggins the second. I love that.
Huh.
Who I actually know from the British American Chamber of Commerce.
Okay. Right.
Met in like 2019 on one of our British Chamber trips to the casino in Tampa. And
Of course.
it was super fun, but he's like athletics trainer, like personal trainer, but I'll say on another level. So he literally like trained oh gosh, me with sports. It was a woman who won like the Australia Opens in tennis and like doubles and like I don't know, she's like placed first.
Recently, or was
Yeah,
it?
like recently, like just
Okay.
whenever it was last in Australia, like this, I don't know, a couple months ago. I have no idea when it was, but recently. So yeah, so he travels around with like certain athletes that have him, yeah, that hire him for stuff. And then
Okay.
yeah, but he works with, I'll say, commoners too. That's my wording, not his.
That's yours. Okay. Okay. No, that's funny. Well, so he was your guest.
Yes, so he was my visitor, and then
Okay.
so afterwards we caught up, just the two of us in the cafe that's like nearby, because we literally haven't seen each other since before COVID. So this
Oh my
was
goodness. Wow.
yeah, yeah. So it was nice to catch up and introduce him to some of my people in the chapter that I really wanted to meet, like well, Emily Murphy, the person I put you in contact with, right, who's like the
Yes.
nutrition, yeah, yeah, nutrition and hormone therapy and all of that. And then our physical, or sorry, our massage therapist who focuses a lot of his work on athletes as well. Like even like high school, you know, younger kids and stuff that are training. So yeah, so I got
Okay.
to connect them.
Good, 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 good. Well,
Yeah.
I also reached out. You were very kind to put me in touch with someone named Claire
Yes.
from Florida House. I mean, I've never heard of Florida House, being
Right.
from Florida all those years, and also having its own embassy. States don't get their own
Right.
embassies, which is really, really interesting. So I was remiss in responding. You probably saw that I did respond the other
Yes,
day.
I did see. Yeah. And
Yes,
yeah, I haven't
was
had a chance
really
to look.
hoping.
I saw you respond.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really hoping I could coerce her into or convince her to come to the tea at the museum
Oh,
this other
yes.
day.
Yeah,
One,
yeah,
we
yeah.
are shy of numbers, which is disappointing. I may not know until Friday whether or not I'm doing this tea or not on Saturday morning.
Right.
But I hope we do go through with it. But yes, I look forward to meeting Claire and seeing, if there's any collaborative efforts that she and I can, put
Right.
together. So we'll
Yeah.
see. And if
Awesome.
we do, then you have to come up.
I know. I know.
Oh my goodness. Well, a
That's
bus ticket from New York to DC is only about $35. I wonder what it would
Is it
be.
really? Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, but a
I,
much longer,
I
of course.
want, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
take a long, take
Yes.
a while.
I'm sure it would. I'm sure it would.
Yeah,
So
that, that's fun. I would sooner just drive.
seriously, no, I totally, totally, I get that completely. So you sent
Yeah,
me a lot of teas.
I
The
did.
Great Pumpkin does exist. The Great Pumpkin sent me a handful of teas. And
And I can
so
show the cute little boxes.
you did show me those, didn't you, before? But
Yeah, I did. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I can show them on camera. Yeah, it's like as long as they hold them in front of me.
Oh,
Like,
because otherwise then you can't see. Yes, yes.
oh
And they
wait,
put
here.
it out. There you go.
There we go. It's like
Darling.
without getting
And,
the glare. Yeah.
and who is the brand again? What is the brand?
Okay, so the brand is
Okay.
called Mlesna. It looks like Mlesna. So these are uh from Sri Lanka. So
Yes.
like packaged and sold and brought back from Candace, my sister-in-law. So it was,
Okay.
I believe, her grandmother who went there recently within the last year. And so in July, Candace had all of these for me. And yeah, like what are they like? I don't know, 10 or something,
Yeah.
different flavors. So
Right.
we picked out three to try for today.
Which we haven't done in a long time. When you and I
We-
first started
I-
out, we were doing tea tastings and we would send each other 3 teas. So
Right.
we haven't done that in a while. So
You're
you
right. Yeah, we really started out as like, yeah, a tea tasting
yes.
show. And
Yes.
then I think I showed you how they come in these cute little bags that like looks like a mini coffee bag.
Oh, okay.
So like it's loose. It's all
It's
loose. So like I filled your tea bag and my tea bag and there's
right.
still like this much loose
Yes.
tea in it.
So
So
yeah. So
a good
and
amount.
and you have these darling tiny little, these are
Yeah,
perfect little individual size for teacups. I love this.
they are. Yeah. So those are the ones I think I was telling you maybe that I found recently. Uh yeah, because I was doing the slightly larger ones.
Yes.
And then yeah, I think I don't know if I even ordered it on purpose or if I ordered the wrong size and got the small ones. And then was like, oh, these work out even better.
They
But
do work out. I really like them. Because I use the same brand, or the same type anyway.
right.
The paper, because I think you and I have tried to go non-chemical,
Yeah, it's supposed to say, yeah, it's
non-carcinogen,
like whatever, unbleached
unbleached,
paper and
unbleached
it's
paper.
yeah,
Yes.
biodegradable or whatever, easier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I like this size. So I'll have to take a look for that the
Yeah.
next time I place an order. I do like that.
Yes.
Excellent. So yeah, so you have given me, you cannot see, I've got
Yep.
my tray. Let me see if I can do this without dropping anything. I've got my
Oh my
tray,
gosh, I love it.
my
Beautiful.
teas here, ready to go. And so
Okay.
you sent me, you want to tell me which ones
Yes,
you
I'll
sent and which
tell. Yeah,
one to
so
try?
we have yes, so we picked so we started with picking apple for fall. And then I was like, okay, then let's do
Mhm.
pineapple and
Right.
apple. And
In
then I thought
here
for our third one, let's
is
throw
what?
in this mystery one that is called Soursop.
What is soursop? We're gonna find out.
Yeah, so I've already Googled it, so I've got it ready to show on Google. But so let's see. So the soursop, I think is funny because it does smell almost like a sour candy would. Or at least to me it does.
Yeah,
If you were to
I
see
get
it.
that, but
Because it's not like straight up sour. It's like as if it were sweet and sour like a candy.
yes, yes, there
Um,
is a fruit element to it that I just can't pinpoint a particular.
just wait till I show you what it looks like. I mean, the soursop I've got on Google.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
would be
So it's
interesting.
a plant, or yeah, it's like a fruit thing. Um,
Well, are you pouring? Are you ready
not yet.
to?
I was
Okay.
sniffing and then I was gonna pour. So then with
Okay. Yes.
apple smells
I
like
got
nice
ready.
fresh. It smells like nice fresh apples. Like it's not like cidery. It smells
Good point.
fresh cut apples. And then our pineapple
Hmm.
smells like,
Hopefully pineapple.
yeah, fresh, very fresh pineapple.
I do get the pineapple.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So now I just remember which one I put where. Or I guess I'll
I
probably,
tried to color code. I tried to color code. So like
I,
I have this is apple. It's
oh,
my
nice.
poppies. And then pineapple, I've got my yellow cup.
Oh, perfect.
And soursop, I kind of went with black and gold because I have no
There
idea
you
what's
go.
going in here.
Yeah, because it's a mystery. You're like, I don't know
Not
what it's gonna
not a
be.
clue, not a clue. So, but I
This
was
is-
gonna look up soursop, but you said you've got that covered. So,
Yes.
all right.
So I will, okay, so we can add our water.
Yes, if you'll pardon me. Yes,
Yes.
here we go.
And then, let's
Now
see.
this is Ceylon black tea, so it requires a full rolling boil, 212 degrees.
Right. And I put my, oh gosh, the little koozie over my hot water kettle, like the electric one. And I'll say I had, like it kept it so hot, it like heated up the handle. So I'm like having to hold on to the
Oh
handle with
my
it.
goodness. Wow. Don't burn yourself and don't let it melt.
Yeah.
All
Yeah. So I
right.
guess, yeah, so that
Pillow, excuse me. Just
worked.
there we go.
Okay. So let's,
Sit up straight and hurting my back. There we go. That's better.
so I'm going to do the share screen.
Okay. All
You
these
can see
steep.
our soursop. Okay. You see how weird it is?
Interesting.
Yes. So
Almost like an apple pear texture, it
yeah.
looks like.
So what's funny is like right here it says soursop is a member of the Anaceae family, also known as the custard apple family.
So
So I
an
didn't know
apple.
that I was picking another apple type thing to go with our apple trio,
Well, who knew? I mean,
right?
but yeah.
So it just happens to be perfect. Um, let's see. Oh, we don't want to see what it tastes like yet because we don't want to ruin it. But overview. Yeah, it's like that's just yeah. Order fresh. Interesting. So there it is before it's cut open. And then little got seeds in there. All
How
right.
big? How
So
big?
now we
Is
know
it?
what
It
it looks
almost
like.
in one of those pictures, it looks like a very green strawberry, but those are not the seeds on the outside. There's clearly the seeds are in the inside, and
Yes,
it does look like apple seeds, which is
you're
funny.
right. Oh, you're right. It does look like apple seeds. And you're right. It kind of looks like the inside of like an apple slash pear. Like it does look.
Yes, like it has that texture. Where is this grown?
Let's see.
Is it in India? Is that why
Where-
they know about it? And I'm looking at guanabana. Health benefits of soursop, also known as guanabana.
Yeah, here we go. Angola, Brazil, Colombia, Costa Rica, Cuba, Jamaica, Mexico, Panama, Peru, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, and Southeast Asia.
And
Okay.
Southeast Asia. So
So that's
definitely,
what I wondered. I'm not seeing any Sri Lanka.
right? Right.
Okay.
But it has to have that warm tropical, it looks like,
Right.
tropical weather.
Okay. Interesting. All right. So now we know a little bit more about soursop before we
Well,
take it.
you got to learn something new every day,
It's
right?
great. I know, right? Yeah, we didn't know that there was like a whole another flavor we never
Right?
even knew existed. So thanks, Candace. And Candace's grandma.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Oh, so I'll show you. I'm gonna put my tea bags into these little things today. I have to show you. It's so freaking cute. It's a tiny, like, oh, there's
Okay.
like 10 cups, you
Yes,
know.
yes. The enamel, right?
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. And it's so cute. But it came at Target. They had a little set too.
How cute.
And I see these, so like in the promotional world at like trade shows, I see these all the times because people
Do you
can like,
really?
yeah, brand them and like, they're cute little gifts or like shot, funny shot glasses and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I'm like always I see them and the promo guy I work with, Dave, he always laughs at me because I get distracted. I'm like, look, there's one.
Squirrel.
So when I so when I saw anything that is like tiny and miniature, he like looks right by and I'm like, oh my God, look how little it is.
I don't know what it is with women in
Yes,
miniatures.
right. So when I saw these, I was like, I can finally have my own.
It's got to be something maternal.
You're
Babies,
right.
small
Yeah, right.
babies. I don't know. I don't know what that is.
It's so funny. But okay, so I'm gonna pull the tea bags out and then we'll have to do our sweetening.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. But and I know we will be talking about Charles and Camilla in Australia.
Australia.
And then as I
Oh,
think of it, I'll have to tell you what things Trevor and I have discussed over the last month.
certainly.
And usually it's things that you have like texted me about. So usually I'm like, hold on, let me see what.
Oh, well, the other thing, and we didn't list this earlier, but the Sussexes have purchased a vacation home
Yeah.
in is it in Portugal? It's
Portugal. Yep. So Trevor and I actually we spotted that one last week. So I will, yeah, so we can talk about that too for sure. And but for once I actually know something before you
Good,
tell me.
good.
It's
Love
so
that.
great.
All right. Well, my others have steeped,
Okay.
and
All right. So
wow,
you trying,
I'm getting the smell from this. It's
right?
coming
Trying
from within.
soursop first,
Yeah,
right? Yes. Okay. Let's
it's very pleasant. It's not quite sour apple, but I
yeah.
want to say that there is an apple quality to it. Your teacup is
Yeah.
lovely.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm like sniffing it because it smells like it reminds me of something else, another tea. Like there is a fruity quality to it, but it almost reminds me of like I don't know, like the cherry rose green, like it almost feels like there's a floral element to it.
I get that. I see what you're saying
Yeah.
there. Yes, it's perfume.
Yeah, perfume. Mm, I just tried it.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
it's very apple to me.
It tastes apple. Well, let's see. Try it again. It's very apple, but still like very much a black tea. And I feel like just like just in like a smidge of sour on like the end, but it's not like a sour can.
Now, it's really
It's
pleasant
really
though.
nice.
This
Yeah.
is on a day like today, you should be here. Um, Sitting outside sipping tea all day.
What do you mean? We are at a cool oh, my temperature went away. Where's my temperature? I feel like we were like 79 this morning before the sun really got going.
Well, and I understand because of the hurricane that came through last,
Mhm.
because my family, as you know, is in Florida.
Right.
So it, came swirling in and as it typically does, takes all the humidity away from Florida and your
Right.
temperature dropped a little bit. So I
Right.
understand you've had pleasant weather. I will say, Jose and I got up this morning, and took a walk after we put Jackie on the bus, and it was about 46 degrees
Oh
where we
boy.
walked back here in the woods. So yeah, it's a little chilly, but
Yeah, I was like, that's a little too.
refreshing. Yeah, but it was refreshing. And like I said, it's beautiful. I'm going to post pretty soon some of the pictures around the neighborhood that I have of they're just, the colors are just stunning. They're just so
That's
pretty
awesome.
right now. So, and blue skies, but
Right.
a little warmer than I'm not going to say than we want, but we were up to 83 yesterday.
I mean, that's
So
warm for you
it's pretty
guys
warm
in
for October.
late
Yeah.
October.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. I'm
That,
enjoying this. This is very good. Thank you.
yes, I know, me too. I really like this one.
But
So, how were, speaking of the storms, how did all of your Floridian family fare?
everyone is fine. I have a sister who has two generators.
Did they lose power
And
and
she
they
was
had
the
to
one who
use?
didn't lose power. But my other sister, 15 minutes from her, did. So they were able to borrow one of the generators, and
Oh,
which was great because it kept them afloat. They were without power for 4 days,
oh wow. Okay.
something like that. So when they finally got the power back on, it was great. So no, everybody seems to be fine.
Good.
My parents have both moved into assisted
This
living.
is yes, yes.
Don't ask.
But storm wise, is that probably good?
Farm
Because
Wives
they have
was
like
fine. It
backup,
didn't have anything to do with that, but
they have generators.
it is an adjustment, and my mother hasn't been terribly happy, and
Right.
you know, having been and owned and run a household for
Yeah.
9 years, and suddenly you are in apartment living and the woman upstairs is up all hours of the night walking around. So
Right.
it's been an adjustment, but we're going to leave it there.
Okay.
We're not going to talk about that anymore.
Okay.
But yes, my family was fine in Florida. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, so Paola just commented. She said, "Hello, ladies." Oh, she said we will attend Lady Nancy's tea event this coming Saturday.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I
That's
know,
wonderful.
that's
Oh, I'm so
awesome.
excited.
Oh my
Oh, that's
God, that's
wonderful.
amazing.
Yay. I was
So,
hoping to actually meet her. And then she and I really need to put something on the calendar and actually
right?
go to
Yeah, yeah.
CBC somewhere. I just want to say, Paula owns DC. I've lived here for 11
Yes,
years now. I'm not in DC, but Paula,
immediately.
girlfriend, you are just everywhere.
I
And
know.
I love watching her posts. I'm like, well, damn, I haven't been. Oh, what's that? Oh, I haven't been there either. So I need to follow Paula around.
I
So
know.
thank you,
Well,
Paula. I'm so glad. I can't wait to see what. Fingers crossed. If we get
right?
enough attendees, yes, hopefully it'd be great. Lovely.
Yes.
Yay.
And she we mentioned, Claire King with the Florida house in DC.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, I introduced you to her, but that's because Paula introduced me to the white or the
Really?
to Florida
Oh, okay.
house.
So Paula has
So
the
I didn't
connection
know her
also
before
to
Paula.
Florida. Excellent.
Yeah,
Oh, this is a conversation that needs to be had. All
that's
right.
right. Yeah. So she's in on it. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Oh, I love when people pipe in.
That's so
So,
great.
well, listen, I pulled up the apple because I really want to
Yes.
compare it to the sour
Oh
sop.
yes.
But
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
say,
Okay.
the guanabana. Just so much more fun to say.
Yeah.
Guanabana. All right. So it's the apple.
Okay.
It is very faint. Is it me? Or I'm really getting,
Yeah, it doesn't smell as appley, but I feel like it tastes more appley.
it smells a little more sour. At least that's how it's hitting the back of my nostril. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of apple juice as I smell that. So,
Yeah.
oh, you know what? I didn't stir my tea. I'm like, why isn't this sweet?
Oh.
It's all at the
Well, at
bottom
the
of my
bottom.
cup. It is all at the bottom of my cup.
That's great.
All right, that should be sufficient. All right, up and down motion, never
That's
clang.
great.
Lady never clangs.
Never clink. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, what do you think?
I like it.
Now with your sweetener?
I like the soursop better.
I know, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like
Oh,
there's more dimension.
there is. This is, and because no insult to you, it's a little flat.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just like it's just like, all right, that's black tea with apple.
Yeah, very much so. But it's black
Right.
tea. I'll drink it no matter what.
Yeah, I mean it's still delicious.
It is still delicious. Do you want to go and try the third one? I don't want to rush
Yeah.
you. It was your
Yeah,
show.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so then our next one is pineapple.
All right. I'm going to stir first.
Okay. I stirred mine up, so we'll see.
Well, look at you. Now you got a blue one.
I know. Yeah, so this is the one that I got as a gift that was the set of the pink and the blue one that are technically from like Disney. And then the one in the middle that I was using that does not match is from Miss Molly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow. This has
It
such a
smells very pineapple-y.
very pineapple, very juicy.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's good. It smells juicier than it tastes.
Thank you. I was glad somebody else said it. Yes, it smells juicier than it tastes for sure.
Which is interesting, I feel like, because that's kind of like how the apple, right? The apple smelled more appley than it tasted.
Oh, and whereas the soursop had the least amount of aroma for me,
Right.
but packed more of a
Right.
pleasant flavor.
Well, right. Like I said, like all I could smell was what I know to be a sour smell, like a sour candy smell. So
Right.
now I guess it's a soursop smell. The soursop plant.
Hmm. All very good.
Yes. Very
So,
delicious.
so Ceylon tea, yes, Ceylon is, for those who don't know, those who are watching. So, what is now Sri Lanka used to be known as Ceylon. So the teas would come from Ceylon. Ceylon tea itself is very, it's a very mild black tea. It's very, what's the word? It's low in astringency. So it
Yeah.
very well. So when you get flavored teas, you typically do not get a flavored Assam or a flavored Darjeeling. You
Right.
typically get a flavored Ceylon tea because it's a very mild tea that does not overpower or have to take a back seat to something else. So
Right.
that's what my research
That
has
makes
proven
sense.
over the years too. So yes.
Yes, that makes sense. And yes, so according to their little box, Ceylon is home for the finest teas the world can offer. That's what that's how they describe it.
Well,
But I
and
mean,
they'll
what
say
else
that
are they gonna what else are they gonna say about it?
exactly. And that the whatever tea factories from China, what are they saying too? So
Right, right, exactly.
so you see me scratching. So this is
Yes.
a little side note. So I don't know if you're as allergic as I am, but I have like I'm just getting over a raging case of poison ivy.
Oh no.
If you've ever had it, it's God,
We
it's
I
intense.
Knock on wood, I haven't. I'll say in Florida it doesn't seem, or at least in the area, where I live, it's not
Mhm.
like
See
running
on
as
my back?
rampant. Oh my gosh, I do see it.
That's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
part of it. That's just part of it. Yeah.
So how
Um,
did you get it?
no clue. No
Okay.
clue. I am highly susceptible. Look where I
I
live.
mean, you live in, yeah, 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 right.
My husband goes out and spends a lot of time in the yard, and my son likes to go fishing
Right.
places. So we'll never really know, but there's a chance that they're coming home. They're completely immune
Oh,
to it.
so if
Give
it's
me a
on
hug
them,
and bam.
then
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
get it. Yeah. Oh my
So
God.
here, and I got the spot on my hand, and
Oh
it's
my
just,
goodness.
and
So how many days in are you for?
well, I recognized it almost immediately because I've had this before when I
Yeah.
was in fifth grade, sixth grade, something like that. The
Mhm.
first time I ever had it was here in my eyebrow, and I
Oh.
didn't know what it was, so I scratch and go like this. The next thing you know, I had blistery rash all over.
Oh my
It's
God.
great, great when you're 12 years old,
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, yeah.
and I've since had little outbreaks here and there. And I know what it is as soon as I get it. Now I have to say I know what it is. Is it poison ivy, poison sumac, poison oak? I have no idea. It's
Right.
one of those. This case was the most intense itching I have ever experienced.
Really.
It was bad. So we had gone for a walk out near DC, Teddy Roosevelt Island. Paula, if you haven't been, go. Nice, lovely walk. And we came back that day and something was bugging my back. And it felt like, it's like sometimes you get a scratch and you can,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
so I'm touching it and I'm like, what? So I'm like, my husband, I'm like, what is this? He said, well, it looks like you got scratched. I'm like, okay. By that night,
oh no.
it's bothering me still. And I'm like, why do there feel like there are bumps along that? So
Yeah.
then I thought it was a bug that had gotten
Oh.
my shirt and just pick, pick,
Yeah, yeah,
pick.
yeah.
Then I had it down under here, the same thing by the next
Right,
morning.
right.
Then the next thing, but and
Is it because you're like scratching here and then you're
no,
touching
at this
somewhere
point
else?
I know try not to touch it. So the oil is like tar. You can't feel it really, but it has a stickiness like tar.
Oh, okay.
Once,
Oh, right. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So then
oh
you're
my
like touching
gosh.
it.
So the itching got really, really bad.
Mhm.
But within 48 hours, I was at the doctor. You have to get a steroid to knock it out.
Yes.
So I'm just finishing six days.
Oh my God.
My plight. Just thought I'd throw that in
That's
as a creepy
exciting.
Halloween
Yeah,
story.
yeah. Well, that's so yeah, so Candace, the one who gave us all these teas,
Mm-hmm.
um, so they live on the farm in Indiana and
All
she
right.
gets really bad, I believe, from poison ivy, but also like mosquito bites. They like
Oh,
are like
okay.
well, so it's like you live
Mhm.
on a farm. So like this is a constant this is a constant thing. Like
City living maybe for you,
yeah, right, right. It was
something
like
more
she still
urban.
loves it for yeah, whatever reason. And then I'm trying to remember if Mumsy is watching, maybe she'll text
Hey,
me.
mom. Yeah.
Yeah, there is uh okay. So you mentioned poison oak, poison ivy, and poison
Sumac. Sumac. Sumac.
but I feel like there's a different name that they have like growing out there that's like so serious like the county is supposed to come and take care of it, like you're not supposed to touch it, or like I mean
Really?
yeah, it's like really bad, but I can't remember now what kind of poison.
Now, a kid mentioned something to me. I'm teaching the substitute teaching and religious education, and some kid said, "Have you heard of poison sarge?" I've never heard of that, and I
I've not
looked
heard
at
of that.
it
That's
and
a
I couldn't find it, so I don't know if he. I don't think he knows what you're talking about, but I thought I'd float that one by you just in
thank
case.
you.
Yes, that's it.
Yes, nope, it's not that one. So I'll have to, yeah, get back to you on that one if Mumsy tells me or not.
Yeah.
But so you mentioned Harry and Meghan,
Yeah.
yes, buying their Portugal home. So um Trevor and I were discussing it. So it's in a luxury development, area, neighborhood where Eugenie and her husband have,
Yes.
yes, a
Yes.
home, a
Mhm.
vacation home. So we were saying how this is great. I feel like for for the ones who are like directly involved, right? Like Eugenie and Harry and everybody, like that's
Well,
great.
and their children, because so
And
that
they
they can play with their cousins and know
right,
their
right.
absolutely.
Right. So it's like, but also like looking forward, like, to our hopeful future. We're like, honestly, if like William and Kate were to get with Harry and Meghan, I feel like neutral territory would be great. Like not in the UK and not in the US, like Portugal, like, and it's like a hop, skip, and a jump over for William and Kate, right? Like that's
Exactly.
an easy trip.
Yes,
Or Charles and Camilla, whatever. But we were just saying like
that
it's
happens.
at
Yeah.
least got them way closer to the UK without being in the UK
Yes.
and
Yes.
without the nonsense that the UK brings for them.
Yes. If a neutral territory. It
Yeah.
it made me question, is Eugenie not close to the Cambridges?
That's what I feel like though they've been like super, I don't know, friendly cousins or whatever for a while now throughout this. And I mean, she still shows up to all, like, gets to go to royal things, right? Like, I feel like she's still part of
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
But yeah, but I don't know how well, right? Like, individually she gets on with, certain cousins hang out with other
Wondering.
cousins.
Absolutely, absolutely. I guess part of my thinking is, could she be a peacemaker, or is she
Right,
more Camp Sussex than she is Camp
right,
Cambridge?
right. Yeah, yeah,
Uh, yeah, I'd love to see that possibility,
yeah.
of, hey, let's bring everybody together. So yeah, I don't know what that
I
means.
I agree. Well, and Trevor, so like, Trevor always sees it and he's like sees it as like the adults need to like get over their differences or pretend they're not a thing just for the sake of the kids, right?
Good.
And I tried to, I was like, yes, and I go, all of the commoners who don't have the world watching them, I go, how many people don't talk to a whole side of the family because of one person? Or,
Yes.
I was like, and who cares about the kids? I said, now sometimes you have things where like everybody hangs out and the kids have no idea that there was ever a problem until they grow up and they're like, oh, I didn't know you didn't really like, Aunt so and so, but like you always seem fine in the group settings, right? Like
Right.
that's what Trevor wants and that's what's like ideal.
Right. Right.
but
Okay.
but yeah, but I'm like, well, you can't say that they like have to get over it for the sake of the kids because plenty of people don't.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you just put that on the scale of you're just like everybody else, this happens a lot in a lot of families.
Right,
Absolutely.
right, right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
Uh,
but we can always hope that and I think we said I was like I don't see it happening. I'll say within the next 5 years. I'd like to say perhaps within 10. Like, you know, if Harry and Meghan stop rehashing things,
yes.
right? And like let, sleeping dogs lie or whatever. Which was another topic actually. So the podcast that I was telling you about, that's the new royal one I listened to.
Yes. I haven't had a chance to
Yeah,
do it yet, but yeah.
that's okay. Yeah, so it's what is it called? The Royal Report by Jack Royston with Newsweek. And when I said that name, Trevor's like, "Oh yeah, he's like a well-known person like with Newsweek." I was like,
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't pay
Okay.
attention." So so he knew him. And but what Jack has been talking about lately, especially I think the one I sent to you was about so Megan, like we'll say the bullying slash anti-bullying
Right.
things that surround her. So
Yes.
he's very fair and is always really good about like no matter what topic he's on, he'll do a very brief recap to bring people up to speed if they haven't been paying attention for years, right? They're like, so like this is what the buildup is to this, right? So it's like, there was the bullying allegations out of Buckingham Palace, right? And then also like Meghan, it's like basically Meghan being bullied all the time, right?
Right.
And then but her, and then I guess what came out within a month or so from the Hollywood Report or Hollywood Reporter, which is, it's like I don't know anything about any publications, but he said I guess that's like a more reputable one in the US. And they had, you know, so-called like people who had worked closely for Harry and Meghan here in the US who have left and said like that she's like a tyrant in high heels and blah 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 and like
Yeah, we've heard those things,
yes,
haven't we? I
right.
mean, yeah.
And so but then it was almost like a direct like rebuttal situation where like all of a sudden one of Meghan's employees who had left to start her own thing like releases this like beautiful, effusive statement about how wonderful Meghan and Harry are and this and that and supportive and whatever. So it's like this weird back and forth, but then Meghan went to it was like an anti-bullying like nonprofit charity thing that is called The Other Side of the Story.
Oh,
And its whole point is like basically teaching, especially or talking, especially like younger kids, about how you might hear things about your friends, and especially nowadays, like through social media, like, a Snapchat group or a WhatsApp group or whatever, right? And like everybody's kind of bullying, picking on one person,
mm-hmm.
like watching it go down or whatever. And it's saying like that's just one side of the story. And so like basically have compassion, like don't like just jump on, right? And like in with it.
Yes, those are the perils of social media.
Right,
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah.
And so what's interesting is that so she's saying there's the other side of the story. And in her mind, right, it's that the palace says one thing, hers is the other side of the story that she's gotten to tell now. But in that same vein, it's like, well, the people who claim that they felt bullied by you
Right.
and you say you didn't, well, now that makes them the other side of the story, right? Like
Yes.
so it's like you can't invalidate how they felt, regardless of what your intentions were,
Right. Right.
So, so Jack brought up a very good point, which like as he was like, feeding all this information, like I was already thinking like, yeah, why can't it be both? Like you could be a bully and be bullied, right? Like think both things can happen. It's not one or all.
True.
It's
Very
not,
true.
and
Yes.
so it's not all or nothing. And so he pointed out, he said, if they could, it's almost like everyone now, like no one can back down, right? So it's like Harry and Meghan can't back down from their stance, William and Kate can't back down from their stance, and they don't even get to like say all that much, but like they
No.
can't back down. So he's like, until the brothers, like until someone can like have a little give, like it's not gonna get better. And he was like, and the whole thing is that like with Meghan, like he's like, if they would just be like, hey, like, you know, a few years ago, like when all of this was happening, like we were not our best, like
Mm-hmm.
we're
Mm-hmm.
really sorry. This is not our best selves that you saw, or that how we treated people,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and like we still like it's like, our feelings and our experiences are still valid without being like 100% the victim and you're 100% the bad guy.
Right.
Like, so I thought that was very an excellent point on his part, where it's like, yeah, like, how I said it's like they've told their side of the story now a million times. And
Right. 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 Yeah.
yeah,
No,
right.
right.
And it's kind of
Yeah.
like it's getting to the point where it's like nobody's ever like 100% innocent, like especially when there's
No.
so many layers to it, right? It's not like a
Absolutely.
single incident that we're
Yes.
talking about, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
So
Yes. Um, so I mean the term clickbait,
yeah,
right, that you and I have talked about before,
right.
where it's getting to the point where like, when I pick up my phone and I can do this right now and let's see what comes up. Let's see. photos show big difference in king and queen photos compared to Princess Diana. And what's in, come on down here. King Charles rules out following Prince Harry after Duke Sussex goes viral. This is just Google. This is just me turning
Right.
on
Oh
Google.
yeah. That's just it. Yeah. It only
It-
when second I open up my Google, of course, like it's the
absolutely.
algorithm is set for that.
And it's gotten to the point, it's like, I'm not reading it anymore
Yeah.
because there are two sides to story.
Right.
These people are trying to sell something for money. They're trying to get you to read their publication, their whatever. So it's really difficult to find something reliable and resourceful. And I'm not saying I don't still click on some of those and read
Yeah.
some of them, but some of it's like, it,
Sometimes you can just tell, like, it's not
yes,
anything to do with like the
yes,
caption.
exactly, exactly. I want to say, by the way, the pineapple one finished differently than it started.
Really?
Maybe when it cooled off, it did for me. It just became yummier.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe
It
because
is
all the sugar
better.
at the bottom.
It is better. It is better cooled off.
Mm-hmm. Is that funny? Of course, yeah, there is a lot of
Maybe
sugar.
that's one that's like, I don't know, iced tea worthy or whichever.
Well, shouldn't it be? I mean, you think
Mhm.
pineapple, you think, like
Right.
I think, and I maybe I've shared it with you, but Harney and Sons has this green coconut tea,
Yes.
makes the best iced tea.
Right.
Now, I make black tea with it, usually a Ceylon or something,
Yeah.
and I do like one black and then the one green
Oh, nice.
coconut, and I make iced tea. Family loves it. I mean, we just, you know, knock that stuff back. So
That's
yeah,
great.
maybe that does.
That's awesome.
But
So,
they're all very, very good.
so I mentioned Promo Dave. So apparently Promo Dave was watching at some point because he texted me poison ivy, oak, and sumac. So he's watching. Uh, oh my gosh. So, but I feel like maybe I tell you, there's something else that like they've got in Indiana. Maybe it's not called poison something. But I will.
Run for your life.
Yeah, it's like really bad. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, but so that's really funny. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. Who is Dave?
Um, yeah. But so let's see. So yeah, so with that, it would just be nice if with time at least they could get to a point of being like, there's a side to every story and like,
There's this great
yeah.
and I use this when there was a rift in my family with my sisters
Mhm,
and my siblings. And there's this line in Downton Abbey
mhm.
in the sixth season of the original series.
Yeah.
And by the way, those who don't know, there's another movie in production right now.
Yeah.
But in it's the final episode, and Mary has absolutely dashed any possibility of Edith
What?
getting married
Oh,
because she
good.
exposes in front of everybody, in front of her fiance, almost
Right.
fiance, that she has a child from another man.
Right. Because Mary is a horrible person.
Yeah, yes, because she's
A lot of times.
yeah, she can be absolutely. So Edith storms off, and
Right.
in a very satisfying scene that everybody just couldn't wait for. So she storms off. Mary gets engaged to Matthew Good. I know there's another character, but I'm just going to call him Matthew Good.
Oh, is that? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same time.
Yeah, basically,
Oh,
yes.
I didn't even remember
Oh,
that. Yeah,
is
that's
the character
hilarious.
name. Yes, Henry Talbert. So she summons Henry to come back, and so they get engaged. They set up the wedding, and the day of the wedding, she shows up. Edith comes back, and she comes in, and you can see she's just, oh, I'm here. And Mary says, "Can we have a few minutes?" So mom, grandmother, whoever, Rose, they leave, and Mary says, "Well, why did you come back?" And she says something to the effect, and I'm probably going to flub this a little bit,
Yeah.
but basically, because in the end, you are my sister. And there's going to come a day where it's only going to be you and I who remember Sybil, who was the other sister who had
Oh,
passed.
right.
Remember Sybil and Mama and Papa and Carson and everybody who used to live here with
Right.
us.
Right.
And our memories will mean more to us than something like than the bitter feelings that we're sharing or something like
Right. Right.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that line, it
I
has
like
stuck
that.
with me. And I do think that I mean, that's forward thinking of Edith, I have to say, for her
Yes.
character. But maturity hopefully does come into play in most situations, I mean, they're just
Right.
human beings too, that hopefully somewhere down the road, although you would think at this point Harry and William would have enough with their mother's passing to
Right.
bond them together. Um, I do think it's very sad that the promise that they made to each other, we know from reading the book and things like that, that they were
Right.
not going to let their media um, moguls, whatever, their
Right.
media
Yeah. Yeah.
press secretaries, whatever, plant things against each other to
Right.
try. And unfortunately, that is exactly what's happening. And
Right.
it's very, I really find it sad to see that because I think, I mean, I look at some things and I'm like, yeah, that is good press for them, but in some small way, there's a little bite to the
Right.
other one. So, but speaking of media and
Yeah.
press secretaries and things
Mhm.
like that, so the last time you and I met,
Yes.
that very afternoon is when the Cambridges came out with the video. Now you posted that. Somebody posted that after you and Trevor had spoken. Do you remember? You know
Yes.
which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
How
Yeah. I post. Yeah.
Kate's post chemotherapy family video, which was
Yes.
just lovely.
Would.
Aren't we so normal? Aren't we such a loving family? And I'm not saying it wasn't endearing. It was. I love seeing it.
Yes.
Yeah. Beautifully filmed.
So
Beautifully.
that. So I was telling Trevor. I said, so you and I loved it. That was great. I told Trevor, and except until listening to my Royal Report podcast, I did not know that there was another side to this. So apparently, especially in the British press, they like tore it apart. They hated it. They thought it was too produced, overly produced, fake, blah blah blah, like totally disregarding what the message is behind it, right?
Okay.
Like maybe let's cut them some slack given what they're trying to get, the information they're trying to get out there, right?
Okay. Okay.
Related to her cancer. So, um, but uh, but what he was also saying was that it seems to be uh, some of the same people that used to attack Megan in the media over there, but
Okay.
they're somehow turning on Kate uh, at a most ridiculous time. Um,
Yes.
and but also he said it seems to be a generational thing because he said like on TikTok where they posted it, everyone loved it. No one had a problem on TikTok. Ate it up. On Twitter, that's where like some of the negative stuff comes. Is like the older crowds over on Twitter.
Interesting.
Um,
Okay.
so it seems that the younger kids who are used to consuming media in this new way get it, and the ones who are older don't get it. Also, he pointed out, you realize that she did this because you all lost your minds like 8 months ago
True.
after she even tried to tell you she was going to be gone.
Right.
And then you got upset about a photoshopped, like, picture
Mm-hmm.
with their kids. And then you got upset, it's like, so here she tries to give you exactly what you want. Like,
Hmm.
and it's like, this took more time and effort and energy on everyone's parts to give you this overly produced thing that you're like,
Right.
sticking your
Right.
nose up at. I was like, they had to get the whole family rounded up into some field, pretty like, meadow country area
And color coordinated.
and color coordinated and the makeup and like and catch all these like candid scenes and then like
Yes.
set up scenes
Right.
like
Right.
so yes, so of course I'm always gonna pretty much defend
Defend. Yes.
anyone related to the royal family,
Yes.
but
Yes.
I'm like
No.
it just seems so unfair. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the hate is going to hate.
Yeah,
You can't
right.
please all the people all the time. And I would imagine on some level, maybe with the older generation, Amy, they're looking at that and going, the queen would never have done anything like that.
Right.
Never complain, never explain.
Right.
And this is come out and be very touchy feely and look at the
Yes.
affection
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. They're not used to seeing that from their monarch either. So I can see where
That's
some
true.
people are just,
Right.
they're
But it's
not.
also like, but those are the same people that was like, she tried the whole not explaining thing.
Yes, right,
Like
right,
you
right.
guys lost your mind and came up with a million conspiracies.
Exactly,
So,
exactly. I'm
so it
I'm
is
with
like,
you.
Trevor's like, the whole like, you can't win either way. Like, so,
No,
but
no.
but I had no idea. Like I thought everyone was like you and me, or just people in the world who didn't even see it and didn't care either way, right? I didn't know anybody reacted negatively. I suppose I should have known somewhere, but I didn't know there was that big of a negative response, especially in the UK. He also said in the US, like when they like, poll people, yeah, everyone in the US is fine with it pretty much. It's
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, oh, I was gonna
We're
make a
people.
point too. It's almost like, and you and I've talked about this before, that Kate does not get bad press.
Hmm.
Kate is pedestal. Kate is next queen.
Right.
Kate is,
Right.
never takes a bad picture, or at least they don't ever release a
Right.
bad picture. Um, and okay, sympathy, leaving on her alone,
Hmm.
lay off. Okay, she's out of chemo. Bam, she's fair game again. I wonder. Except that I don't know that there was that much bad press about her before. So anyway,
Well, that's
those
yeah,
are
yeah,
my
you're right.
thoughts.
Well, it's
So
yeah, it's true. It's like why all of a sudden like turning well, it's sort of like they started the turn on her, right? Until she finally said, "Okay, guys, I have cancer." Like, Jesus, you know?
yeah,
And
yeah,
like and then everyone's like, "Oh, like so sorry," right? And then
yes,
yeah, like and everybody acts like, "Well, we didn't say anything crazy before you told us what you did or what was wrong with you." And
right.
now you're right. It's like even though it's not like she's through, like she's not what remission takes a few years, right? Like I mean, it's a and
She will be going back for frequent checks, and I don't
right,
think she's considered remission. I'm not going to say because I'm really
yeah,
not
I
sure,
think
but I have
yeah.
a friend who went through it, so
Okay. And she might
yeah,
actually even said it, but and also it's like the video was not just about like her health update. It was also like, thanking everybody for their support and like
mhm,
acknowledging certain
mhm,
people or groups
right,
and also like extending like, sort of her support and compassion for other people and other family members like that are going
yes,
through this. So it had, she touched on a lot of topics and basically I feel like all those topics like maybe wait till her next video to like if you guys are gonna turn on her.
right, right.
Like
Um, how about that? I wonder, does it not still linger? Because there is that photo that still shows up frequently, and before the Queen's funeral after she'd passed.
right,
And the four show up, the Sussexes and the Cambridges, and the
right,
Sussexes are holding hands and the Cambridges are not. And you and I both know because there's royal protocol, especially in reverence to Queen
right.
Elizabeth and how
Yeah,
she would have wanted it. There was no the hand holding or the affection.
right, right, right.
I almost feel like now we have, the
Yeah, like
Elizabethan
they're
era
trying
has shown,
to
and now they're showing, say, we are affectionate. We have, we
right,
have
right.
affection in this
Yeah.
family.
I feel like
So I think
yeah,
some of
they're
that
like
is also an effort to show. Yeah.
yeah, and it's almost like they are slowly sort of getting unofficial permission or whatever, right? To like
Yes.
show more of this side of them. And like how you sent me the video where he was like talking with that like, 90 some year old person in a wheelchair, right? The older
Yes. Right.
person.
Right.
And he's like holding hands with her the whole time, right? Like, the queen used to not actually like, really touch, right? It's like she had her gloves on and was
Right.
basically like
True.
barely, or
True.
would just kind of like wave or whatever in their face. I don't know if she
Mhm.
actually did she shake hands? I don't remember if she shook hands in the public or if she just walked by and kind of like said,
And grab flowers and stuff like that.
yeah,
Yeah. No,
grab, yeah,
she always seemed to, she had
yeah,
that hand.
have her,
She was
yeah,
always,
yeah,
like this.
right. But
So
so it's like, yeah, they're just becoming more personable, which is what everybody seems to want anyway. It's like they
this
might
day
be
and age in this generation definitely does.
yes,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I was like any yeah,
Yeah.
so the people that would still think that they should behave more like the queen or whatever, it's like, well, that generation I feel like is waning, but also they'd probably also say the same thing like if they were acting more like the queen, they'd be like, they're too stuffy. They've got to get with the times.
That's exactly right.
Right,
This is a visual age. This is a video age. This is a social media age. They have to have a presence, or they're not going to be thought of. And
right,
there will, and for all the more reason that people will be like, Queen who, King who? Well, why are we funding that? Bye bye. And I think
right.
you get more. So the more they can put themselves out there. So speaking of that,
Yeah.
uh, you mentioned in our last talk, I think it was a video that the Cambridges are putting together. It's the video about sort of his documentary, is it not?
Mhm.
About we can end homelessness. Is that
Yeah.
not what that is? and I think that's getting ready to air on ITV.
Oh, right. Yes. I
Yes.
didn't, yeah, I
Yes.
haven't looked to see
Weekend
when it is. I
Unhomelessness.
remember
Yes.
we said, or I said it was coming out. I didn't know when it was.
Yeah. So I saw something came across my feed yesterday or the day before, something about it's getting ready to air on ITV. So,
Okay.
take a look at that for those who are
Right.
interested. Put that on your calendar.
Thank you.
Also understand, just real quick, speaking of ITV, Ted
Yeah.
Lasso season 4, the popularity has drawn. Sorry,
is it?
the
What season
woodpeckers in my
4?
yard. I don't know if you can hear
I
that.
can't hear it, but that's funny.
The crazy hags.
That's
It's
hilarious.
Halloween hags are flying around. Those are the woodpeckers around here. Those things are massive. They're like
Is it a pileated woodpecker?
the big red-headed woody
Yeah.
woodpecker. These things
Yeah,
are
yeah.
huge.
Those are called pileated woodpeckers.
Highlighted
My mom,
woodpeckers.
my
Thank you.
mom's a bird watcher.
Oh, excellent. Oh, I love it. So popular demand is bringing back Ted Lasso for those who.
Oh, okay, yeah. And I haven't ever gotten into it. I haven't ever watched
Yeah. So I don't know what to tell you about Charles and Camilla.
it for they're there.
They're in Australia. I think I sent you a picture of
Yes,
the
it was
Sydney
a very nice
Opera House.
picture.
Had pictures and images of them on there.
Yes.
I thought it was stunning. Oh my gosh, I thought that was so great. That was, yeah.
I'll see
Bring
if
that
I
up.
can find
Absolutely.
a picture of them. Let's see. In Australia. Um, let's see. So, oh yes, here it is. I found it. So hold up and share the picture. Okay. Share. Okay, this was the one, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if you can see.
In the back.
Yes.
The Sydney
It's
Opera.
not, well, that's a picture of them there, but it says there's 3 photos there. Is there one that shows the Australia,
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Opera House? There you
Oh,
go.
wow, that's cool. I didn't
It
see
is,
that.
isn't that beautiful?
That's so cool.
I thought they had one that showed when he was there like when he was younger or his parents or something like
Oh,
that.
really?
Oh
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
thought there was another
I really
something.
like how that's projected up there. That's so neat.
The blue that matches their suit and her
I
dress.
know.
Stunning. Really beautiful.
That's
That's really
amazing.
cool. Again, it's going to be the haters and the
Right.
lovers. Whether or not they're getting, rave reviews is all going to depend on the press.
Right.
Really just going
Right.
to depend on the press. So,
So who, yeah,
are
so
they
who knows?
successful? I don't
I'll
know.
have to wait. I'll wait for Jack Royston to tell me how it went.
Very good. Read about that. Send me the article.
Right. And then,
Yeah. Yes. But yes, that's where they are. And it's my understanding that Charles, the reports were that he was postponing his treatment. He was putting a pause on his treatment.
Oh, okay.
But it must be well enough.
Yeah,
that
you're
he
right. I
can
never
do
thought
that.
about that, right? It's like,
Yes.
yeah, so much, I feel like just still thinking so much about Kate and her health, and I was like, oh yeah, right. Because it's like the second that he's traveling, I forgot. It's like,
Yes. And
yeah,
you,
he's just normal king again.
yes, right. I feel like it just wasn't, I don't know. Was there more affection to Kate in the press about things like that? I don't
I
know.
feel like that, and just because I feel like she's had to take more time off, and maybe it's probably an age thing too, right? Like she's so young,
Thought about that.
right?
I
And
did
she's
think
got the young kids, and like,
yes,
you know,
yes.
um,
So,
yeah. But I also told Trevor about how you sent the article of Charles Spencer and his new partner suing his ex-wife, and how they
yes.
apparently met through the podcast that he does. She's like his co-host for the last year. I was like,
Gosh.
I don't like those optics. And we were saying, we're like, it's not public now. Like, we don't know what is
We
being
don't.
sued. What
We
the
don't.
suit is
Yes.
over. But I was like, I can't imagine, like, depending on what it is, I feel like if you were, the so-called other woman, like, let it go.
Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, that was wow. So I'm sorry. So real quick, I was just going to go and check Royal News UK today. And of course, first thing in Google feed, Meghan Markle's real reason for buying £6.5 million home near Princess Eugenie Long. Yeah, she wants a vacation home.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was like, does anybody need
What's
like
the
a
real-
real reason other than like
Yeah.
they can afford it and they want to do it?
Right. Royal news.
You don't need a whole story for
Exactly.
that.
No, I don't. And has anything come of American orchards, American Riviera Orchard, whatever it was?
Oh, yeah. I don't, what was it? I feel like that did get talked about. Now I can't remember what Jack Royston said. Um, but yeah, I would say because what the last time we talked about it, the whole thing was like the trademark or something, right? Or oh, I know. Trevor, we talked about like the location, right? How it's like says it's the American Riviera Orchard or whatever, and that's like specific to location. But the goods aren't coming out of that. So like that
Right.
the issue. And so it's like, who wouldn't have thought of that before they
We
got
had
that
that
far down?
conversation
Yeah,
last time.
that
We
far down
did.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But Trevor acted like, yeah, he's not surprised because if they were, let's say there was a real orchard over in that area and they were producing something from it, then it's okay. But you can't just like take the name and it has a,
Name. Interesting. It's just so it's so weird. So
right.
so I'm just looking, and not to interrupt you,
Yes.
but
No,
so
please.
I'm looking under this is
Mhm.
NBCnews.com, UK Royals, and there's an article, Not My King, King Charles heckled by Indigenous senator in Australia.
Uh-oh.
That's one article. Another one, Australia debates severing ties with the monarchy as King Charles arrives for royal visit. Well, if you watch The Crown, apparently they had considered that before
Yeah,
too.
yeah. It's not,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so those are
Okay.
things, yes.
So I thought
State
I thought
returns
I
to work.
oh
Yeah.
sorry. I was
No,
gonna
no, no.
say we should compare how our algorithms work. So on my Google, I'm like when I open up my Google, it says Prince Harry, Meghan Markle face huge humiliation after Portugal purchase. It's like, no, they didn't. And then Prince William's unexpected sleeping arrangement with Princess Kate revealed. Yeah, right. That's from Hello.
Sure.
I'm not
Who
clicking
brought a
on
camera into the bedroom?
it. Right.
Sure.
Okay, and then there's a bunch of Florida stuff. One member who will never forgive Harry. It's not Prince William. I
I
don't know.
saw that. I did see that.
Did you
Yes.
click on it? What is
It's
that?
Camilla. They say it's Camilla
Oh,
because
okay.
he referred to her as the wicked stepmother. So
Right. I mean, yeah,
again,
yeah. And then,
yeah.
oh no, Princess Beatrice's husband, Eduardo, makes heartbreaking admission. Uh, yeah. So anyway, and then afternoon tea room stuff. So it's like,
Of course, of
and then
course.
hurricane like Florida stuff. That's what my
Yes, right. Well, the other thing for the royal family, and I did mean to bring this up too, was the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, which is Edward and Sophie.
Yes.
Were touring the Republic of Chad
Okay.
and areas in Africa. So and I understand that to be successful. Good press, good press, good
Good.
press,
Good.
stuff like that. She's lovely.
Yeah, I was like,
I
they
just think
both
I still think she
seem
just has the best royal name ever. I mean,
she does. It's
the
great.
Countess of
Yeah,
Wessex.
Countess.
Sophie
And
Countess of Wessex.
yes, and speaking of we'll say the older royal siblings, so you watched Scoop and you watched what the
Yes, I did.
what do they
Yeah.
call it? The royal skin, what do they call it? Something big.
Another, was it a very royal
A
scandal?
very royal, yeah, it was like it's not a
Over,
big royal skin, a very royal.
yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And I think you and I went back and forth on that text wise,
I
didn't
think
we?
so, yeah, because I
Yeah.
know, yeah, because I really liked the TV series one. If I had to pick one better, because I liked seeing sort of the inner workings or thoughts of the royal side of things, right?
Right, right.
And I was talking, and like Trevor and I were talking, it was like I was like, how I forget now what the name was of his of Prince Andrew's press secretary, but the main lady involved, right?
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Uh-huh,
Yes,
yes.
and I go, I was like, it's so hard because I'm like, it's like she's just like was just as delusional, right? And like believing in him, and it's like so sad that it's like, no, like this was the wrong decision, and like you really like,
Messed it up.
supported
Yeah.
him and accept,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
and that you just get immediately fired and like by someone else, right? Like it's not, Andrew finds out after the fact, like, but I didn't, he didn't want
Right,
to
right.
fire. And I just thought it was all very interesting. And how they had was it Eugenie or Beatrice, one of the two, where they had like her basically standing in for him on the legal team meeting.
Yes, 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 yes.
I thought that was
How that
interesting.
true? Yeah, how true is that?
Yeah, I don't know how true it is, but I just, whatever, based on all the stuff we know
Well,
or think we know, it sounds fitting that he would be off on a hunting weekend thinking this isn't anything I really need to tend to.
it
And then,
does. It does. From what we know of Andrew, yes, it does.
yes,
I did not like their portrayal of Fergie. I mean, they really just that was
you
not
think,
flattering for her at all. I
you
thought
think,
that was oh
I,
yeah.
I
The
thought,
one scene
yeah,
she comes down a hallway and there's a staircase up here and she comes
yeah,
down and there's a butler standing there with food, right? And she's
yeah.
about to, and she goes, oh, and she has to go and get something to eat. It was like
Oh, I
they're
didn't catch
making a commentary on her weight again.
that.
And
Right,
I
right,
thought I was like, come on, that was terrible. That was nasty.
right. Yeah, I
So,
just thought it was interesting because it was like a weird way to, or not weird, but it's like for us on the outside, we're always like, how can you just like stand by him, like with all this stuff happening? And then it was sort of like, I for whatever reason liked how they made a point for her to say, her character to say to Andrew, like, I've never asked you and never will, like what really, what happened? Is it true or
mhm.
what, right?
Right,
Like
right,
I'm staying by your side. Uh,
right.
and then it's like, he still acts like such a brat at times because that's how
Yes,
he is.
yes,
And it's like,
yes.
these are the only people that will still talk to you. Like, you need to like hang on to them.
They also made
And
the illusion that the two of them still have relations on occasion too.
right, that's true.
Yeah.
And, and that I thought it was interesting, that like he helped her with her debts because he thought that she got a rotten deal out of the divorce, like
Oh, okay.
those kinds of
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, because when he's like asking Epstein for money to pay for Fergie's debts, and Epstein's like, "What? Like, why?
Why?
You're divorced. Like, why are you dealing
Yeah,
with this
yeah,
anymore?" And then he's
yeah.
kind of like, "Well, she got like a rotten deal, and the basically the Queen and Prince Philip were like making sure that like she didn't see much, or that he
Okay.
can't give her much money, that kind of thing."
Yeah. Hmm.
So who knows? Given
Right.
that is things are dramatized, but
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
for judging the art and the content that it is, I enjoy. I liked what they did with it.
Well, they never said it definitively, did they? That was one of the things that you and I went back and forth in
Right,
text was, they kind of left it to the reader to come up, they never really left it as yes, he did and he's guilty or no, he didn't. And
right,
we have enough
right,
evidence. So I thought that was interesting. I thought it was a good way
right.
of
And
leaving it.
and
So
I can't remember if we said it when we were going back and forth, but I feel like I can just see in uh the way that we think, that we speculate, the way that he thinks, and people like him, I truly like think I would not be surprised that he does not remember that ever happening. Like when he doesn't recall, I mean, I'm sorry, but like think about, as a prince, how many people he's seen and probably, had intimate experiences with,
really,
right? Yeah.
really, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I'm like, I think I would not be surprised if that like is not,
If we're a
and
drunken
like
encounter, maybe, but
even when he comments, like, he's like 17 was legal in the UK anyway, like, it's sort of like maybe there were other people in the UK that like it was legal at the time, and like so then this thing in New York happened, and like so I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm
right,
saying he legitimately might be in his own world and like does not recall, like,
right.
so he's not even no exactly denying it. He's just literally saying like, I mean, they make him say at one point, like, how am I supposed to know? That was like 20 years ago.
Well, true, yeah, yeah,
I
okay.
mean,
He's just such a cad. I mean, he just
I know,
really
I know.
a cad, a roue, a rake. I mean, they're
Right,
just
right,
let me throw some words in there that people are gonna, what the hell
right.
is that? I gotta look that up.
I know. But I do love in like all the royal shows basically that like except for the crown, right? It's like you never really see the queen or Prince Philip. Like it's always a phone call or like talked through one of their representatives. And it just
Right.
cracks me up. It's
Yes.
like it was mummy. Mommy
Uh-huh.
phone. They're such big babies.
Different kind of life. It's a different kind of life for sure.
Yeah.
God, it was something I was
Oh
gonna,
yeah,
oh,
was there anything else? Yeah.
no, other than the did you want to show what I sent you? That
Yes,
my
I
mother
do.
sent to me. What, I don't know what my mother, and I
Yeah.
still have several. I should have brought the
Oh my
others that I
goodness.
have out
Yes.
here, but
Okay. Well, so first I'm gonna show though what you sent me, not from your mother. We'll see if I turn into a ghost or not.
yes,
Instead of showing
exactly.
it.
That
Okay.
you know, bring that there. Yeah, can't see it.
I was
There we
like,
go.
do it like a little bit at a time.
Yeah, scroll through. So I bought that at the gift shop, the Westminster
Yes.
Abbey gift
So it's
shop.
Charles and Camilla, a beautiful tea towel that's
It
going
is
to
a
be hung
beautiful
up
tea
on my
towel.
wall, not
Yes,
used for
yes,
tea.
yes, very good.
Um, and then, okay, so then, yeah, you want to tell, say where you found these?
Okay, so my mother's clearing out. My mother, hoarder is probably too strong a word, but she, picks things up, and I
Collector.
don't know what she's doing with these paper doll books. But she has these paper doll books, and these are two that I sent to Amy because I was like, I'm not going to use them. I don't need them for anything. But
So,
one
yes,
of them is Princess, yeah, Diana Princess paper
yeah.
dolls,
And I'm trying to look.
and the other one,
Was there a year on this one when this, oh,
I don't.
1997. Hey,
There you go.
that's the year of Mbop. Hanson.
The year I got engaged. And I remember listening, that would come on like every 5 minutes as I would drive from Jacksonville to Pensacola to go see Jose before we got engaged. Yeah,
Oh my
that's how
goodness.
it come on. Yeah.
So they're at Disney this weekend. So starting Friday morning, once I drop Piper off at school, and then she's with her dad the rest of the time. So like drop her off
Yeah.
at school Friday, straight to Epcot, meet up with my friends, and then stay with them for the nights because they live closer by.
Oh, gotcha. No fun. Very
Four
good.
days of Hanson.
Oh,
But then so then we have William and Kate paper dolls.
yes, the William and
And
Kate.
so I flipped to this one. So right, it's like the basic paper doll, right? And I was like, I told Nancy, I go, I wanted like a shirtless Prince William. And I think I said topless. I wanted a
Now
topless
you,
Prince William since I was
now
16.
exactly. Now you have your own topless Prince
Yeah.
William doll.
Oh my gosh. But I have to, oh, but so I gotta say though, what, okay, so we're gonna show differences. So then here's Kate. Now they have her in a standard like bra and underwear that like swimsuit, whatever. That like the average paper doll would come in, right? Like the
Yes,
Spidey
yes,
paper doll. But
yes.
then let me show you what I noticed about Princess Diana.
Golly, I don't think I'm.
She's just in a black slip.
Oh, she
Don't
is.
get, yeah, yeah. You don't get to see.
No, no, we don't get to see that. But don't remember, one of Kate's early introductions
I
is
know that was like her
black sheer
thing,
thing.
right? And
Everybody's already seen Kate.
right, and this is 2011. That was 1997.
Oh, well, that's the year they got married.
Oh, you're right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What a funny thing. Yeah. So here's some of the outfits.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
Love it.
Hilarious.
It's so cool.
How surreal is that you walk
They
around
forget,
and you know that your image
right?
is out there in a bra and panties, for people to play paper
It's
dolls.
just yeah, right. It's like such a weird thing. Oh, look, you can do like the whole like
And there you go.
yeah.
Yeah. And
So
those are not like the paper dolls I remember. You just pulled them out. They were perforated papers, but these
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah. Oh, you're
we
right.
got
Yeah,
to like
these it's
we got
like
a cut.
I
Yeah,
feel like these they knew that like most likely people aren't going to use them. So like let's not make them like perforated.
no. So
If they
yeah.
want them,
So
they have to cut them.
my mom sent me a whole collection of them. I'm like, I'll take them. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. I'm probably gonna try to sell them on eBay or something like that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
they're so
there were
neat.
others.
Yeah, yeah. Because I
Yeah.
forget. So I know you had Jacqueline or Jackie
There's
Kennedy.
Jackie Kennedy. There was stars, movie stars from the 40s. So like
Oh,
Rick Hayworth and well, I shouldn't say 40s, but there's Audrey Hepburn and Betty Grable.
yeah.
And let's see,
And then
then
there
there's the Bushes,
Bush family was
the
my
Bush
favorite.
family, George Bush looking much more handsome than he is in
Yeah.
real life. And then there's the American family in the 1930s, the American family in the 1940s, and the American family in the 19,
Really? Oh, that's
yeah,
great. Oh my gosh.
and Victorian ladies.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
good.
So I wasn't sure if this was something that you're going to put at your booth.
Yeah. That's so funny though. Oh my goodness. And again, the George Bush one, because Nancy sent me pictures of all of them. It's just so funny because George W. Bush one is so funny. Because I was like, in what world are they like fashion icons? Because it
I
was like the
know.
whole family. And
I know.
I mean, I guess
Seriously.
whatever, but
Seriously. I don't, there probably was a Clinton one.
yeah,
Probably
yeah, right.
was, and a couple of others. I mean, depending on when it
Right.
came out, there was probably the Obamas too.
I was gonna say like Obama's would make sense, I feel like
yeah,
Michelle had more style and stuff too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Trump's possibly, Melania being a model, but
right.
Trump gets one suit with a red tie. That's all
Yeah,
he
right.
gets.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, it's like every page is just the same suit and the same tie.
But the face is a little more orange in some of them. No matter which side of the fence you're on, that
That's
is
right.
funny.
Yeah. Either way, yeah.
Either way, it's
He's
funny.
he looks orange to both sides.
Oh my gosh, he looked really orange. I saw something the other. I'm like, what is? I'm like, he was like this.
That's what I was gonna say. You're fascinating.
Like my hat. Oh my goodness
Oh my goodness.
gracious. Well, I was
Okay.
going to show you. I know I showed you the other
Oh
in
yes, so
picture, but
pretty. I
yes,
love
aren't
it.
they cute? My
Oh my
little.
gosh, that's great.
I love these things. They're so great. They're
That's
ruining
awesome.
my real nails, but they look so good when they're on.
Yeah.
So
What are they like stickers?
they're press-ons.
Oh,
So if
they're
you're
press-ons.
at Walmart, they're
Oh,
impress.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I didn't realize that. I thought you like went and got them
Oh
done.
my
That's
gosh. No,
awesome.
no, 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 no,
Oh my
no.
gosh.
So get the ones that have the peel off because there's the others that you can get and it comes with a bottle of glue and you
Yeah,
have to
and they're
stand
so
here like this
hard.
for a half an hour for each.
Yeah. And then
Forget
you have
that.
to get glue all over
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And these last me. I just took a
Those are
set
the
off
best
that I
ones.
had and they'd been on there for 10 days.
Oh, okay. All
So
right.
and they stay shiny. You can
Awesome.
actually clip them and you can
Right.
file them. So yeah, impress. I love these
Very
things.
cool.
Walmart. And you get at least two full sets out of them
Oh,
for
okay.
anywhere from $7.99 to $10.99. So it's cheaper than a manicure, my
Oh, yeah,
friend.
way better.
Manicure.
Yeah. Way cheaper. That's
Sorry, you
excellent.
can tell I'm outside.
I love it.
I'm not in New York City. It just sounds like it. So
That's right.
anyway,
I can't hear. Yeah, I was like, I can't hear it.
no.
When I was on with
Oh, well.
Trevor the other day, the lawn guy was like right out the window. I was like, I'm sorry, can you hear this? He's like, I don't hear anything. It was like
Oh, that's
so
good.
loud.
That's good. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well,
Yeah.
listen, we have
Yes.
been
Yes.
talking for a while. I got things to do, as I'm sure you do as
Yeah.
well.
Same.
But
But lovely. Yeah. Lovely
yes,
chat, as always.
as always, let's keep in touch.
Yes.
Yeah, I never did change my Facebook page for pricing. I'm still
Oh, okay. Not
I
yet.
like was so knee deep into getting it done, and then other things came up, and I was like, okay, that'll have to
I
wait.
get it.
So
Yeah. Same.
I wanted to put out a post out like, new and improved or new website or something like that,
Right.
a brand new look, something. So, and the pricing, like you and I had discussed before too,
Yes.
see what happens. I do have a tea,
Mhm.
my neighbor Lil, doing a fall tea for her on
Oh,
the
lovely.
9th of November. So,
Oh, awesome.
yeah, so I'm glad I get to do that. And that's a full tea where I'm doing the
That's cool.
sandwiches and savories, but that's easy because she's right across the street.
That's very nice.
So, and she's going to do half the food and I'll do half the food. So,
Oh, excellent.
yeah,
Well, beautiful. And then you've got your tea this Saturday.
hope so. Fingers
Yeah.
crossed. Yes. Anybody
Is
out
there
there?
like, do people sign up online or do they have to get
Yes,
registered?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
If you want,
Yeah.
you should write in the comments or just tell me what it is and I'll type in the comments. What's the
It's
what it is?
workhouse, one word, workhouse
Yeah,
arts,
art or arts.
ARTS
Okay.
.org
.org. Okay.
slash,
Slash.
I think it's equality. I think that's what it is. Hold on. I have to.
Okay.
You can always also go to Cup and Crown, my Facebook page or my
Oh,
Instagram. And the link is on both of those.
yeah. Oh, great.
Instagram,
So
give me
then
a second
I'll
here.
put,
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
okay.
Yeah,
That
yes,
must be
exactly.
it. 'Cause
workhousearts.org/T.
oh, slash T. Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Okay. Well, yeah.
So yeah,
Excellent.
yeah. So I hope to see lots of people out there. Oh my,
But
sorry. And so this comes up in my feed, and that's
oh,
my new
oh my
niece,
gosh. How old is
my
she?
niece's daughter. She's now 1 month.
Oh my gosh. I saw the circle, but I couldn't read what the circle.
Yeah, she's a month old now. Skylar Rose, cutie, cutie,
That's
cutie.
awesome.
Yeah, I need to call them.
Oh my
Anyway,
goodness.
all right, guys. You
Okay.
guys, my one
Beautiful.
guys. All right. Well, it's good to see you and talk to you,
Yes,
and we'll
wonderful.
plan for another one before Christmas.
Yes, and we'll pick out, yeah, of the teas that I got.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
that I
yeah.
sent you, yeah.
Absolutely. All right,
All
then. Well,
right,
thanks for sharing
wonderful.
those. Those were really good. Loved
Yes,
them.
you're welcome. Thanks so
All right,
much.
hun.
All right,
You
cheers,
take care.
bye.
Bye.